We had some breaking news this afternoon. A grand jury decided not to indict anyone in that shooting death of DeMarcus Semer. Semer was shot in the back in April by two Fort Pierce police officers. According to investigators, Semer was shot by these officers after Semer refused to pull over for a traffic stop. We understand that there's reaction to this grand jury finding today. We head right now to First Bethel Baptist Christ in Fort Pierce. Pastor Mills is speaking now.
The loss of a son killed by those sworn to protect and serve. DeMarcus Semer was a good kid, a graduate of Fort Pierce Central High School, working and employed by St. Lucie County. He was only 21 years old. As a matter of fact, his birthday was yesterday, with his whole life ahead of him. DeMarcus' family will never see him again in this life. And on this day, we are reminded that this is what this tragedy is all about. It's about the life of DeMarcus, the life of this young man that was taken so unexpectedly and senselessly. That's how we see it. Charges against those responsible, if warranted by the evidence, were not brought, so evidently the grand jury didn't feel they were warranted. The community was asked to wait patiently and peacefully for information from law enforcement about what happened that night, and the community has done so. We are continuing to ask the community to stay peaceful and law-abiding, and we are also asking that law enforcement would do the same with the community. The word in Isaiah 2, verse 4 and 5 says, "And God shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people, and they shall be..."
It appears we're losing our signal there. Reverend Kenny Mills, pastor there in the Fort Pierce area, is speaking right now. Reaction to the grand jury decision came down today not to indict anyone in the shooting death of DeMarcus Semer. Semer, as you know, as I mentioned a moment ago, shot in the back in April by two Fort Pierce police officers. According to investigators, Semer was shot by these officers after Semer had refused to pull over during a traffic stop. We did get a statement today. St. Lucie County Sheriff Ken Mascara said the following in this statement: "Today, our nation's legal system fulfilled its role in society." If we could go to that statement, I believe we have it. "After a thorough investigation by our agency and an effective presentation of the facts and evidence by the Chief Assistant State Attorney, an unbiased grand jury has ruled in the Fort Pierce police officer involved shooting that resulted in the death of DeMarcus Semer." He went on to say, "I would like to thank the men and women of the jury who served and fulfilled one of the most important rights we are given as Americans. Their decision is the final word, and we must accept it." He wrapped up by saying any loss of life is certainly a tragedy, and our thoughts continue to be with all of those involved.